Welcome to my 3D Music channel. This is the second part of Marvelous Designer part series. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to create pants. Um, let's get started, guys. And I have Marvelous Designer here. So this is where we left off from the last chapter. We created this shirt. And this is the pant pattern I created. So I'm going to show you how I created this. So I have no idea how to create pants. So what I did was, this is not the most awesome looking pants, but I get it done. It looks like a pant. So what I did was, I went to Pinterest and I looked for this pattern, and I give credit to whoever made this, and I literally took this image. So I'm going to show you how to create image in Marvelous Designer and how to create patterns. So I'm going to put it on another window. So now what you have to do is go here and create a rectangle. It doesn't matter. You know what kind of measurements you have. Just create a rectangle. So, and after that, do you see this one? Show 2D textures. You click on that. So it's gonna have this default fabric material assigned to it. So I'm gonna do this. So now what you do is you create a material. You could name it if you want, and I didn't name it. So go to your texture tab and click on there, and I download that pattern, and it's here. So you click on here, and you see here, and I select the pattern. So it's going to show up here, but this is going to repeat it several times. In order to get around it, you go here. Do you see this one? Edit texture 2D. Click on it. Do you see two inverted arrows? If you click on here, and you click and drag it, and you can move it around. Just gonna move. Okay, so there you go. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to the internal line. Don't go to the 2D pattern. Go to the internal lines. And don't worry about the curves. Just match the corners. Make sure you have the same points as here. So what I'm gonna do? Go to this one. Just match close to it. It doesn't have to be so precise. We are not like making real looking pants. This is just for demo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same thing here. Go to the corners and close the shape. And now go to this and kind of like that. Right there. Yeah. So now I'm going to make like that. So boom, there you go. So now what you do is you go here and you select both and right click and say clone as pattern. So this is going to create a pattern. You don't have to do that again. So I'm going to go here to the default brick again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go here, select everything and hit delete. So now if you see, beautiful pants are here. So after I did that, what I did was I went here. Make it close as possible. The only thing you have to keep in mind is the size of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to size it, and you can see it's changing in 3D pattern as well. So I'm going to change everything. Okay. So now this is the back part. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go here. So I'm going to do this. So now we have it and it's flipped. I'm going to say flip normal. And if you see, hips are really, the waist is really small than the pants we have, because this is like a general looking pants. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just adjust the waist line. So I'm just going to pull it in. I'm going to snap it here as well. Okay, there you go. So that would fix, I think. Yeah. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to say symmetry pattern. So if I do any changes in the front side, it's going to affect on the other side as well. I'm going to say Ctrl Z. and I'm gonna say symmetry pattern. So there you go, I have it. Now, so this one is here. So there you go. So now what I did, I placed everywhere. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in and start stitching it. What I'm going to do, I just stitched from this point to this point. If you see, I stitch it wrong. So I want to stitch this one to this one. So this one to this one. And this one to this one. So this is the inner side. Let's see the outer side. So this one to this one, and this one to this one. So there you go. So now we have to stitch this one to this one. So I'm going to stitch this one to this one, this one to this one. So now everything is like sewed together. So now if I hit simulate, it's gonna give a decent looking pants. You could pull it up if you want. And the only problem I'm having is if I go to my X, right? You see, this point is lower and his brief is right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this point a little bit higher so it kind of goes there. I'm going to do that. Oops. So I'm going to do the same thing and snap it right there. Okay, now go here. Okay, that's where the point is. Okay, I'm just going to snap it right there, and now the curve is kind of wonky, so I'm going to go ahead and fix it, and here as well. So now if I stimulate, do you see it fits perfectly good now? So I'm going to take out the shirt and put it on top of my pants. So now if I go to my regular thing, so there you go. Now we fixed it. It's kind of like attached to his skin, so you could go and fix it. And there you go, the pants and the shirts is ready. So it's that simple, guys. So you could literally create shapes from by making patterns. So as you keep doing it, you'll get better at doing patterns, and you will understand how exactly the clothing works in a human body. It's better to see a lot of patterns in Pinterest and a lot of research before doing this. I don't have that much knowledge in it, but still I able to do like a decent job in it. So since we have some other time, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show some other concepts in is how to create seam lines in MD. So what I'm going to do, so do you see this internal line? So if I click here and click here and make something, if I press enter, okay. Go here, press enter. So that's going to create like a line here. So this is kind of like a seam line. So if I simulate, you could see it create a sharp edge. You could fold how much you want. Like if I say the fold strength to 100, and if I simulate, you could see the fold strength is really high, but let me show you. So it's 180. If I go to 0, it's gonna fold really hard. You can see, you can literally see it. If I go to 360, and it's gonna go in. So now you can see it, the full strength make it an option. So it's kind of like 180 is default, and 0 is minus, and 360 is positive. So if it's 0, it is not going to do anything. And it also depends upon the full strength as well. So I'm going to set it to 10. So that's how you make, that's how internal lines are used for. The other things internal lines are used for, I'm going to show you. So I'm going to I created this shape, you can see it literally here. So I'm going to move it around a little bit here and make it small. Snippets are popping up. Okay, there you go. And I'm going to stop it. So now what you could do is you could go here and you say clone as pattern, what we did before. So it's going to create a pattern there. So I can go in here. And bring it here and sew it together. So now if so there you go. Now we kind of like have some kind of pocket. So you could make it how small or big you want. Let's say if I'm making it like that. So if we go here, so there you go, boom. You can make it further as well. So you could also create like a lot of shapes like that. So if you want to create like a side pocket, like as in court. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go here. So there you go. We create a side pockets. So this is what internal lines are used for. Let's say you want to create a seam here. You could do that as well. So you go here. You have to click on a pattern to do it. So create on the outside. So I want to create something inside as well. Now you could see it's not matching to the other one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it over here. So I'm just eyeballing it. So there you go. Now we created some kind of like a color there. What you could do is you could increase the fold angle if you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set 360. I'm going to say fold strength to 50. So now if you see, it went in. So this is what internal lights are used for. You could create like seams, you could also create a shape and you can attach a pattern to it as I showed here. And you can come up with a lot of shapes with it. So I'm also going to show you, you can also change the fabric as well. So if you create a new fabric by hand, you can also have a different kind of, let's say denim. I'm going to say it should be kind of blue. So what you could do, you could go here and select the shirt and put it in. There you go. So it's going to react based on the denim material. So there you go. We kind of created something. So we could also make the pants different style. So what you could go to add fabric and go here. Let's say cotton. I'm going to say, let's say it's kind of like a black pant. Oh, let's say like a gray. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select everything. I'm going to say hit, and there you go. And you can also go and change the specular properties as well. See, it's more shiny now. So you could play with it, like you could do a lot of stuff with it. You could create materials here, then you could export this as FBX or OBJ. Then you could import to ZBrush and you could get all the details. Now if you see, it's kind of like a really low res, so you can't see the details that much. So now what I could do, you select everything, you see the particle distance. If I set 10 and if it's simulate, you'll see the magic now. You see it has a lot of resolution now. So this white material, it's kind of like really bothering me, so I'm gonna put like a little bit of gradient and up to specular so you could see. So now you could see the folding angle and everything. So I could also go like farther down the particle distance. It's going to give higher resolutions as well. And I usually put my shrink web to 103. Now if I hit simulate, you could see all those like details here. Okay, let's go a little bit. Let's 7. Now you could see all kind of details in it. Since this span is really tight, you could see all the details, and you could see we can get like realistic folds as in real life. You could see it's happening here. So what other thing you could do is like if you go to this fabric and if I change this to where's nylon, and based on this material it's gonna react. So as soon as I change the preset, you could see it reacted differently now. You could see we get this fold now at the bottom. It's kind of pretty cool. I kind of like that. So now we could export this clothing to a different software, and you could project this iris details into a low-res mesh. I made this tutorial because I'm doing a character in Marvelous Designer, so I'm going to show you the basic user interface here. When I explain the character in the other tutorial, you guys can relate to it. So I will have the character tutorial soon up and running in my YouTube channel, so you guys go and check it out. And if you really like this tutorial, please like, subscribe, and comment below. And if you have any questions regarding MD6, write me at 3damuser@gmail.com. I will help you guys. And until then, you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.